Hi, it's Nick. Just want to go over the new engine I purchased the other day. It's the UP Legacy SD70ACe with the engine number 1943. It has Bluetooth control, fan-driven spoke, and electric couplers. And I'll go over it, and we'll start with this side of the engine. I like the paint scheme that they have. Lionel did a nice job on it. And we'll start right over here. This is silver painted in this area, and it has the logo of Union Pacific, and this is the plate. And if you had a magnifying glass, you can see it. And I like this blue color right in here with the white stars. And it says Spirit of the Union Pacific. And it has a nice white borders with a little blue in this area. And then we go to the 1943 number, which is a nice red color. And in the cab you have a chair with the conductor. And the windows do move. And also you have the wind right here, this little windbreaker. Then in this area, as you can see, it's all silver. And also what I like is the rain shield. That's a nice little touch. And then as you go back towards the rear of the engine, you have this red, white, and blue stripe. And then it goes into a gray color. And you have a nice American flag. And then you have your blue and your white stripe on an angle. And then you have the military paint scheme. And on the edge right here it says support our troops. And then you have over here another Union Pacific. And it says here building America. And these grills you can see right through. And also the grills underneath here you can see right through. And it has a nice deck. And then you have separately applied handrails, which is a silver. And then what I like is this white stripe that goes from the rear of the engine all the way to the front of the engine. And then you have the silver color right in here. And both trucks are cast. And you have separately applied cylinder with a little tubing in here, and you have one that comes right in here. There's another tube, separately applied tubing, and then you have these two tanks, and you have another separately applied tubing, and you have the oil fuel tank, and you have the sight level which is red, and these red devices. And then right here you have another separately supplied. And then as you come to the front of it, you have the bell. And right here is where you have your ground lights. They shine right down in here. And I like the steps. They're, let's see if I can get it here. They're silver, but they have the red border. And each step, it's see-through. And I think that's one other thing. You have your brake wheel, which is separately applied right in here. And you have a lot of nice detail in the molding, as you can see, up in this area here. So what we'll do is we'll turn it, and I'll show you the front of the engine. Just make sure you see it. Yeah, you should see that, right? And we'll start with the coupler, which is a remote coupler. And then you have these hoses right here separately applied on both sides. You actually have one that goes underneath the coupler. And then you have the cow catcher right in here. And then you have the release for the pin separately applied. And I like the nice color they have here, this white stripe. Then you have your ground lights. And you have your handrails right here, which are white. And then you have some on this area right here, which is gray. and you have a nice chain. In the front of it, you have that nice symbol, Union Pacific, and you have a ladder here with hand grabs, and you have a hand grab here, and they're all separately applied. And there's your headlights right in there. And this is a door, but it's molded. This one doesn't open. I have one or two of these SD70ACes, and the front does open, but not this one. Then, when you go on the top, you can see some of the blue, but it carries over to this side. And then you have your caps, and I think that's where in the real world they would put sand in for the wheels. And you have a grab iron here and a grab iron here. And then you have your windshield wipers, which are separately applied, and you have your number boards 1943, which does illuminate. And I think that's about it for the front. So we'll swing it around this way just to show you this side. Basically this side is the same. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just go right back to the rear of the engine. And again, you have the automatic coupler, and you have your separately applied hoses, and they have the release bar right here. Got stuck though, but it does release it. And again, they have another chain and the railings, which are white, and these are silver with the chain. And I like the way they have this blue that comes up, and your rear lights. And right here you have the symbol for prisoner of war, and you have some handrail separately applied here, and you got a hand rail and a handrail separately applied. And on the top it says 1943 on both sides, but they don't illuminate, these particular ones. And then you have two more caps, and I'm sure that's where the sand would be for the rear trucks. What I'll do now is I'll swing it around and we'll look at the top of it. See if I can tip it, and this way you can see it. We'll start from the front. I like the silver. This is probably an air conditioning, maybe some kind of vent. Then they carried over the red, white, and blue. Then it went into the gray. This is where your stack is. And then you have your horns. And then they came up with the red, the blue, and the white stripe. I like the way they did it. And then you start with your military paint scheme. And these here are your three grills. And inside these two grills you have a fan, but it's not run by motor, but it does move. This one has a fan, but it's part of the molding. And it has a hand grab here, and the rest is all, in the molding itself. And I can show you the bottom of it. See if I can do this. Lay it on its side. Now, we'll start here. This here, of course, are the pickup for the current. And this is your speaker. And right here is the sensor that communicates with the sensor track, and it'll download all the information from the engine into the base, the legacy base. And then these here also are, pickup wheels. So basically that's the whole engine. I'm glad I purchased it. And what I'll do now, after I stop the video, I'll make another one and I'll run the engine, and we'll hear some of the crew talk and the sounds. And I also will run it with the matching boxcar that I bought with it, and also the matching caboose, which has this matching paint scheme, and it does have that support our troops. So I'll end the video now. I always enjoy sharing my new engines and rolling stock. You have a nice day. Take care now, fellas. Bye.